forth your Africa's #1 YouTube channel. We are going to Kenya. Kenya. Chekule, Kofisa, Lanka, Alele. All right. So the former president Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya. It is smelling. It is doing on Africa. He said, "Why are you crying? Why are you crying?" And I just love the way he put it. Over the course of the weeks, I heard that some people are crying, some African nations are crying, that Trump has removed some money. So I was even thinking if it's some ATM Trump has actually used to cash out money. But to go to know that all that noise boiled down to his withdrawals from offering financial aid to the United Nations by trying to conserve some good capital for his own country as he's elected as a rally leader to do. Let's go and listen from the horse's own mouth. The reaction of the former president, Kenyatta of Kenya. How he reacted. Stop crying. Let's watch.
I saw some people the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Watu wanalia. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, you don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. Shauri yenu bana. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying, tujiulize, what are we going to do? Haya ametoa hiyo pesa, sasa tutafanya namna gani jameni? What are we going to do? Yeah? To support ourselves. Because nobody is going to continue holding out a hand there to give you. It is time for us to use our resources for the right things. We are the ones who are using them for the wrong things.
You people are crying. And he said, listen clearly, and I quote him. These are the things he said categorically. And for me, as an African, I think this is a high time for Africa to wake up. African, rise up. He said, people are crying. Trump has removed money. They remove money. How? He removed money. He has actually cashed back out all the money he has been offering by saying that he's not going to offer an international aid, even those that he will continue to do, he will review them. And so Trump said, for giving our money, even WHO, the world's own health organization, has seen shaky. He has withdrawn because, according to history, over $500 billion are offered to these people. I think per annum, or during Joe Biden's administration. And he said, for all this money, for America to be throwing all this money around, and I'm going to be giving you some statistics in a short while after we digest the reaction of the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. And one good thing about him as a leader that personally I loved was that he wasn't in the act of condemning what His Excellency, President Donald Trump, actually did, but rather you will see that his reaction is positive, and he actually applaud him for that. Because as a leader who have been selected to lead your nation, people should see you fighting for the interest of that country, and that is just what exactly President Trump did. And for me, I always give him 6 stars for his decisive decisions. He does not turn back on those decisions. So one of the reactions he said, he says that he did not have any reason to keep giving you Africans money. That is why he withdrew. Why should he give you money? And he stated, you don't pay tax in America. you are in Africa, they are in America. You don't pay tax in America, but you want to be spoon-fed. Every day you put your document together with your natural resources, then you go and put as a collateral. You give to this white, you give to them. and they loan you money, and in exchange, they come for your valuables, your virtues, values, minerals, things that God has blessed the continent with, and they'll go away with it. And it's so sad. But it's like African glories in begging, African glories in always receiving. When would we also contribute by giving to those nations? Whereas we are rich in terms of minerals, name it. I'll show you that about the world's 80% of the entire world's mineral deposits, in terms of gold, in terms of diamond, in terms of bauxite, in terms of silver, in terms of metal minerals, in terms of oil, cobalt, and what have you, is deposited in the continent of Africa. But yet, we are known for begging. We are known for begging. So he stated categorically, you don't pay tax in America. Why should they have reason of giving you money? So he said, instead, this should be a good ground for us to say that, hear him.
This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying, tujiulize, what are we going to do? Haya, ametoa hiyo pesa, sasa tutafanya namna gani jameni? What are we going to do? Yeah? To support ourselves. Because nobody is going to continue holding out a hand there to give you. It is time for us to use our resources for the right things. We are the ones who are using them for the wrong things.
Yeah, like I said, for us to say that, what should we do now that he has withdrawn to help ourselves? The moment you discover help for yourself, it is enough. So, it is better we help ourselves. But before I go, I want to give you some few rundown of when the United States of America started giving foreign aid to Africa. Why would we be in their bad books? It is said that a debtor is like a slave unto the borrower. And so as far as Africa as a continent will continue to, live in the state of begging, will continue to be a slave unto the people we receive from, or unto our lenders. The United States has a long history of providing financial assistance to African countries through various channels, including loans, grants, and debt relief initiatives. Here are concessions of some of the overviews. Historical context, Cold War era. So between the 1950s and the 1980s, during this period, the U.S. extended loans and aid to the African nations to counter the sovereignty influence, often supports pro-Western governments. Number two, structure adjustment programs from the 1980s to the 1990s through institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, which is like Ghana's bedroom. With every little thing, Ghana will run to IMF. And so the loans we have received from IMF is so huge and big, like someone said. And the World Bank and the US promoted economy reform in exchange for loans, requiring African nations to implement policies such as privatization and reducing government spending. So the things that belong to us, some of them, sometimes we have to privatize it as a country. We sell our pride. And then the third thing, which are some of the recent commitments, in just recent, I just want to share with you before I go. Debt relief in a significant move. The U.S. cancelled over 1.1 billion of Somalia's outstanding loan in 2024, just recently. I'm sure if it wasn't done last year before this year, hey, President Donald Trump, I think Somalia should be on their knees thanking God, because Trump, I know, and Kamube Chia, you people will pay. You will pay colossally, corrosively, but it has been cancelled, representing approximately 25% of the nation's remaining debt. So they have cancelled about 25% of their debts. So that money under carpet. So imagine if this $1.1 billion have been used to build good factories, good industries, to form certain things that will put Somalia on the limelight. But they're also known for being one of the poorest countries in the continent of Africa. Whereas they have money coming from means. And another one, Development Finance Corporation, DFC. As of the end of 2020, the DFC had approximately 8 billion invested across more than 300 projects in Africa, accounting for about 25% of its total portfolio. The whole of Africa. Yes. And some of the roads you see under construction, some of the projects we see, and sometimes our politicians do not come to tell us the truth. Actually, it's not monies that are funded by the government, but some of these international support aid. And when these monies come, even some of them, contract they are supposed to award, sometimes they sell these contracts. When they come to my country, Ghana, there are some roads that have been constructed which actually should have been done and done properly, but they'll do a shoddy job. A road that is constructed by a contractor, just within the space of 3 months, 6 months, you see the whole road redeteriorating with a lot of potholes, which damages the cars of citizens, causes a high level of expenditure compared to how much they earn. Sometimes you even spend more than what you earn at the end of the month. And so you'll be indebted, struggling all the time. When will our freedom come as Africans? And it's so sad. It's so sad because when even this money comes freely, they don't use it well. They cushion themselves. And sadly enough, our leaders drive SUVs, 4x4s, and cars that are high and are very good and sophisticated cars, so they don't experience these challenges, unlike the smaller cars. And so until they also come back to that position, I'm very sure they will really not know. But it is where the state of Africa is. And the last thing on the list, Export-Import Bank of the United States, EXIM. Between 2010 and 2023, EXIM supported 13.5 billion in transactions to sub-Saharan Africa, providing loans, guarantees, and insurance products to facilities and trades and investments. But Africa, what's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? If you're an African in the diaspora watching this video, or if you're a concerned person about Africa, I want you to share how you feel. But don't forget to also like and click the subscribe button for this video to go viral, to inform others, and to know that Africa, we must rise and fight for our freedom from our own slavery mentality, because our demons are no more any colonizers, but we are our own demons. We have political leaders with greed selling out values in exchange for just the now fulfillment of their fleshly desires, to drive in big cars, buy houses for their girlfriends, and all that. But the day of judgment soon will come, and I believe that Africa will rise. Africa will clothe its own good clothes, and Africa will bright once more in the continent. And that change is coming. I salute Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Whatever he is doing, kudos to you. I bring you minimal updates. Henry Wilford. I sign off.